The pirate joke is still the best one.
Exactly,
the
right?
The pirate joke is the best joke.
For those that haven't heard the pirate joke, the pirate joke is, what is a pirate's favorite letter? You would think that everybody would say, R. But no, it's the C that they love.
Welcome to the Slightly Serious Sign Podcast, brought to you by Wensco Sign Supply, the #1 podcast in the sign and graphics industry for news, events, new products, and customer success stories. If you want to know what's going on or you want to grow your sign shop, you're in the right place. Here is one, some, or all of your hosts, Mike, Tyler, and Domingo. Welcome to episode 131 of the Slightly Serious Sign Podcast. I'm here.
I'm here
My
too.
name's Tyler. Since we don't introduce ourselves, and I keep joking that every time I ask for an AI summary of the podcast, it has no clue which guest is which, so it just randomly assigns us names. So my name's Tyler. I'm joined with Domingo to the bar, and we're here
and
to
here's
talk
Mike.
about it.
Crickets. Rick, make sure you get some crickets in there.
Play. There we go. We're here to talk about Printing United. So you're going to hear this, what? I'm looking at the calendar, so give me a second. We're looking at this. It's coming out August 24th, which means that we are literally exactly a month away. It starts the 23rd.
I'll tell you what, everything, you start looking at all of the advertising, the emails, the blasts that are going out. I mean, it's starting to come to shape, I guess you would say, right?
100%, yeah. Because
I got an email here of a vendor that's coming out with new printers.
Yep.
And it's like, ooh, I looked at the printer, kind of just glancing over, and that is an interesting printer that I want to go see because I'm going to be there. In fact, what is our booth number? So
I'll go through here's what you need to know. Oh, we're on the wrong page now. We have a booth at Printing United specifically for the podcast. We've spent the last literally full 3 days building the booth. It took us way longer than expected.
And a big kudos to Tony.
100%.
Appreciate Tony Watkins did a fabulous job. Well,
building the
part-timer
frames and then abandoning us to do the rest by ourselves.
Exactly.
So we've been drilling holes and putting bolts in and hinges.
It's coming to shape, man. I like it so far.
But it looks really good. Yeah. So if you come see us at the show,
it's a fishbowl.
It's definitely a fishbowl. Yeah, we're completely clear. Hopefully the sound is blocked out. We'll be fine. But so Printing United is September 23rd through the 25th. It's in Vegas. Currently, they have just over 650 exhibitors signed up. We're there in booth C3461.
3416.
3461.
Okay, I'm a little dyslexic. 3461. Okay, gotcha. Roger.
The other thing with the benefit of us being there is if you are coming to the show, we do have free passes for you guys to attend. So if you're coming, you can use the code 192171 to register and get to the event for free. I just looked this morning. We were talking, we had a rap class, a few weeks ago at this point. And we were actually, at the time, we were talking about SEMA, but SEMA's also in Vegas.
I was going to say, yeah.
So they're saying, yeah, I'd love to go, just expensive. And I was like, of all the shows you can go to, the ones that are in Vegas are the cheapest ones for us to get to. And I think some people, assume that it's really expensive because it's literally all the way on the West Coast. But because it's Vegas, it's one of the cheapest places to fly to, and it is 100% the cheapest place to book hotels at. I haven't found anywhere cheaper. SEMA's the most expensive week, and even that is, I paid the same for our SEMA hotel as I did for Indianapolis in November. So,
but there's a clarification that I want to make, is that you're saying that it's really cheap for a customer to do it.
100%.
But as a vendor,
not cheap.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
But so anyways, I literally looked this morning just to check before I was like, I'm going to bring this up, but I was like, I should probably double check that it's not like wicked expensive right now. So if we were to go right now, a month out to Vegas, book a hotel, book flights right now, we're at like $620 for
That's pretty cheap.
3 nights and the flights there and back to Vegas from Grand Rapids, right? So we're coming from a non-major airport to Vegas. It's a direct flight, whatever it is.
Yep.
Wednesday
to
Friday,
Wednesday,
or Tuesday to Friday, Tuesday to Thursday, and $650. So it gives you an idea. If you're any closer, it'll be even cheaper than that. But there's still hotel rooms available. There's 37 hotels on the Strip, so a bunch of them have good deals.
The beauty about Vegas when we bring it up is, I've been there 25 times, right? Yeah. I know all the ins and outs, but I haven't gone to the dark side, which I don't want to, or the dark alleys. But what I was going to say is that the flight, when you say it's a cheap flight, I think it's gotten really good because they have expanded the portfolio of flights for Vegas. And what I mean by that is you can now get direct flights.
Yeah. Back
in the earlier days, you always had to do a connecting flight.
Yep.
You either had to go to Grand Rapids to Detroit and Detroit to Vegas or Chicago all the way to Miami and then Miami over. Yes, I've had that happen. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I mean by that, direct flights.
When we connected in Montana?
No, I was not with brutal. You.
Yeah, that was a double 2 connection flights just to get to Vegas.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, brutal.
That's horrible. Yeah. But now it's easier, and that's kind of why it's cheaper for Grand Rapids even.
Yeah.
And usually Grand Rapids doesn't have a lot of good destination direct flights, but they've grown.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to pick those up, which is you can get direct flights to Florida. You can get direct flights, everywhere now.
Yeah. So like for an example, for SEMA in November, I'm flying, the guy I'm going with is Jason out of Detroit, right? So either he's coming to Grand Rapids to fly or I'm going to Detroit. Detroit flies direct all day to Vegas. So I think our flights were under $200 round trip. So that gives you an idea. If you're at a major metro, I bet it's sub $200 to fly there direct. So if you're at all interested, what I would have been telling people, like even that guy was like, do you think it's worth going? Like that's the question we get a lot too. Like, do you think it's worth going to the show? It's usually the question we get after the show. It's like, oh, should we have gone? Should we go to the next one? And this is my opinion, right? You can take it or leave it. We've been to a lot of them. We go to Print and ISA every year. And my opinion is, I think you should do at least one of those 2 every other year. Do you need to do it every year? I mean, it's going to be helpful. If you're growing fast, I think it's highly worth going to.
Yeah, new machines that come out.
But I would say do one of those 2 at least every other year, and you'll get a really good in-depth what's going on, what's new, what's coming out, what do we need to be looking for our shop, what are we not looking for that maybe we should be looking for to add to our shop. We try our best, obviously, with this podcast as well, to give you as much information about here's what's coming, here's what to look for, here's some new material, here's some new equipment, here's all that stuff. So obviously, we would say listen to the Silent Serious Sign podcast, and maybe you can, prolong those. But I do think it's hugely beneficial to go and see all that stuff in person. I mean, we talked about it after the last show in the podcast I did with guys from IT Supplies, where it's the way that even YouTube and especially the AIs work now is some people are just assuming they need certain pieces of equipment or certain media because they've seen on YouTube or they asked ChatGPT and it said, hey, you should use X, Y, and Z. And then once they get in front of them, they realize like, oh, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be, because we can only show you so much on video. And the whole idea, even on our videos, right? The whole idea of us showing the equipment on video is so that you can come and see it, not so you can be like, I saw the video, I want to buy one. I mean, that's great. We'd love to sell you one, right?
Yeah.
But there's a reason we end all of our videos with that, with like, if you'd like to schedule a demo, like reach out to us, because we want to at least get you in front of it. If not a virtual demo, right? At least not a situation where you can watch it run in real time. You can see everything there is to see about the printer. Mm-hmm. It's not something, our industry isn't something I think that sells real well over video. And it's certainly not one that AI gives great recommendations for, because there's so much complexity to it that if you're not seeing them in person or seeing them,
you got to get your hands on. You got to touchy feely. You don't just buy a card because it looks good on but you got dings everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Or how does this work? Or what button works this way?
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you go to a show, and there's a lot of, like I said, I've been doing a lot of these shows in Vegas, working as a distributor. And the thing that I found out that I run into a lot of people that are new, and they're always carrying samples of everything, right? And it's like, if you're going to do that, make sure you're taking samples of a machine that you're looking to buy.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's always going to be great samples everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? You see these people with these big guitars and everything. It's like, how are you going to put that on the plane? I don't know. I don't care. But again, it's like, if you're looking for a machine that, and I've always said this, is that if you're looking for equipment, which is a great opportunity to go to these two shows, but you also need to look ahead. And what I mean by that is, you could see a flatbed cutter, for example. Yeah, it does what you want it right now, but is it going to do what you need 3 years down the line?
Yeah.
Or am I going to have to add on, get tool changer, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, you have to think ahead. Don't buy for now. Think ahead. Do I need a small printer, or do I need a 54-inch printer? You know what I mean? It's just like, I run into a lot of customers that say, oh, I like that machine. Yeah, it's the small one that came out and I could use that. And it's like, now I outgrown it. I need bigger material. It's like, you got to look at those situations. It's fun to see these people walk around with all the stuff. Don't get me wrong. But again, it's just like, it's a great opportunity to look at all the new machines that are coming out. And like you'd mentioned, the new materials, what can they do? What can they stick to? You know, what kind of adhesive is this? Is it Aerograss? Can I move it around? You know, there are always going to be some films that are coming out that we really don't get that early information about. And it's always like, you're walking around going, where do you get that sample? Oh, I got it at booth whatever. And it's like, oh, I got to walk over there and check it out. So even when we walk these shows, we see new things. You got to go check it out and see what's out there.
I think it's interesting to see what people are drawn to at the shows, because I feel like it's always different with what
it's
they're
always
looking
different.
for. And we talked about this, the ISA episode we did with Kongsberg, talked about, like, I was asking him, what do you feel about these like super cheap alternatives coming in from overseas? Do you feel like that's like a detriment to our industry? And he was like, no, I don't think so. He said there's always going to be somebody that needs an economy version of whatever the thing is that you sell. And it may be the thing that just gets you through this first set of jobs and gets you to where you need to grow. And he said, and where we want to step in is to be the next step, right? You come in as an economy one, you realize, okay, I need more speed, I need to cut thicker material, I need to cut faster, I need all of these things, then they can step into it. And I think that's what's cool about this, is there'll be a bunch of stuff that we don't sell that is sometimes very affordable. Nobody knows if it works. It hasn't been tested.
No support.
100%. Yeah. And as much as we'd be like, yeah, I would steer clear of that type of stuff, there's also space for that, right? Like we always make the joke, like in economy vinyl, like the only thing most people care about is cheap, weight, and sticky, right? Is it cheap? Can I print on it? And does it stick? And there's always going to be space for a cheaper version of that, a cheaper version of that, a cheaper version of that. And there's always room for, nobody cares about the support, the warranty, anything, right? You're just like, I'm getting this out the door. I will never talk to them again. It doesn't matter. And that's what's cool about these shows. You get to see some of the stuff that's like, is this going to work long term? No, but for the price, I mean, if you get 6 good months out of it, I mean, you probably still are going to pay it off. And it's always interesting to see those. And on equipment, obviously, we would always try and steer them away from that, but there's always going to be space for it. And if that's something you're looking for, I mean, Printing United or ISA is going to be kind of the most ideal spot to see that type of equipment. But the other thing you said that I think is interesting is the lower end version of the equipment, or the smaller versions, have gone, like, we have this weird thing where the smaller equipment has gotten more expensive and the bigger equipment has gotten less expensive.
Yep.
So the gap between, example of this is the gap between the BN 230, hopefully I got that part number right.
Yep.
The Roland's 30-inch printer, the gap between that and stepping into a 54-inch VG4 is not a huge jump anymore, where before it used to be like $7,000, $18,000, right? It's like, okay, well, that's $11,000, right? Now it's more like $12,000, $13,000, $17,000, $18,000.
Yeah.
And you're going, okay, well, now it's only $5,000 to move up from 30-inch, which they would call their studio setup, meaning one that sits in your desk, doesn't run all the time, versus their more of their flagship line. And you're going to get faster speed, you're going to get better color, you're going to get obviously almost twice the width on it. And it's interesting to see, it almost feels like the whole market is trying to push people like, hey, we don't really want to sell these 30-inch printers, right? It's harder to support them if you're not making money on them. It's harder to make them because they have most of the same parts that the 54 and 60-inch printers do. And so most people are moving that direction, and we feel like we're trying to steer people, which is usually them feeling like, oh, this is my sales guy trying to get me to spend more money, right? But what we've seen is anyone that goes into that 30 moves into a 54, 60 way faster than they anticipated, right? They're thinking like, yeah, I'll get through like a year or two, maybe 3 with this 30-inch, and then I'll go to 54. And then like 6 months later, you're having a conversation, hey, can we trade this in? And you're being like, the market on 30 is not what it used to be, right? No. Before, we used to take, SG300s all day, right? Like, yeah, send it in, or VSI 300s, right? And now it's just not nearly what it was. Most of what we're doing is in 54 or 60.
Well, like I was going to say that, sometimes space is an issue, and I can understand why that we try to get you to go to the bigger one, but if you don't have the space, we understand. But it's always interesting to say, okay, you get that customer that goes, well, I've outgrown my building. And it's like, if you can make it fit right off the bat, you're gonna like I was saying, you look towards the head, if you can. Is hard, but if you want to grow your business, then you might as well just go to that 54-inch.
Yeah.
If you're retired and this is a hobby kind of thing, then yeah, I understand totally.
Yeah.
We just wanted to give a big thank you to FDC for sponsoring the podcast this month.
It's crazy though that as much as you try and steer people away, and they'll feel like, no, I know what I want, and get that first thing, it's usually you're having that conversation again, in 12 months or 24 months. Versus the joke I always make with Rollins, especially for the longest time, right, is sometimes you'd sell a customer Roland, right, and you would never talk to them again about their printer for 3 years, right? You'd just be like, I'm just assuming it's running, right? They haven't asked about their printer.
Well, they're ordering materials, exactly. So everything's good.
It's like, I've talked to them, they've never brought it up, so it must just be running. And that doesn't feel like that's the case on most of the smaller equipment either. It's usually more of an active conversation, more of them trying to figure out what's going to work for them. The other benefit you have is, I always tell people that if you get something that can do something maybe your shop doesn't do now, right? So maybe you're looking at doing a 30-inch printer because you want to do stickers, right? Where you're like, well, maybe we do banners, but I don't know if I want to spend the money. You'll just start doing it. Like, once it becomes available to you, you're more likely to sell it to your customers. Even if right now you can third party it out, right? You can get, Science 365 or whatever to do it for you. I think there's still a hesitation knowing like, okay, well, I'm not going to make very much money on it, and they're going to have to ship it to me. If it goes wrong, then I'm going to have to deal with that, right? As soon as it becomes like, if anything goes wrong, worst case scenario is I can just print it here. It's way more comfortable for you to sell it, and I think you're way more likely to start offering it to your customers, pushing it more out in front of them, whether that's consciously or even subconsciously, where you're just like, oh yeah, I know I could do it, right? I could do a partial wrap. I could do a 54-inch logo on the side of your vehicle, like no big deal. And that's what we see, even with like the rollover table, where it's like what you think you'll use it for and what you end up using it for, two totally different things when it's all said and done, right? You're like, yeah, it'll be cool to weed and I'll do a couple boards on it. And then it's like, yeah, now we only do boards.
Yeah, I think that going back to the conversation of the show, I think the biggest things, the two things that I see, one is the new stuff that's out there, right? But I think the next one that I really we're trying to push on why you should go is, that's the perfect opportunity to see how you can grow your business.
Yeah.
And that means equipment-wise, material-wise, offerings, different vertical markets, everything is there.
Yeah.
Well, I got this customer that came to me and said, "Hey, I want to do a hat. Can you do hats?" Well, I don't have a hat machine. I don't have any HTV material. But if you have a cutter, it's an opportunity to go to the show. Hey, I see a hat machine over there. I'm going to go walk and see, what's this all about? It's not as difficult as people think it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that vertical market opens up. Again, you do want a good perspective of a business strategy for this product. You don't want to just say, oh, I'm just buying it for this guy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you really want to have multiple customers that are looking for hats. But
on the other side of things, we're talking about like go there so you can find out what equipment you can get to grow your business, right? If you don't think you're at the place where you're like, oh, I can't afford to buy new equipment, could just be another reason to go to the show, because pretty much the main 3, 4, 5 wholesalers that I know will also be at the show. Meaning if you're like, we're getting a lot of requests for banners, we really don't have the capacity for it, you can go there, you can talk to them, you can meet in person, and you can be like, hey, this is what we're looking for. How does that work? And most of the time you'll be able to at least find somebody that can do the thing that you're looking for. I mean, we would be happy to help point you in the direction as well. Obviously, if you're like, hey, we're trying to do something way bigger than our capacity, who do I talk to? I mean, we've got customers doing, 150-foot flex face banners, right?
Yeah.
If that's something you run into and you're like, we have no idea how to do it, we could channel letters, we could help you. Banners, stickers, all that stuff.
One thing that I get a lot of requests is dye sublimation. I mean, there's a lot. In fact, I think there's a new printer that's coming out, Epson. They got a couple of them that are coming out. The F20070 and also the F9570H. And those are two machines that I know that I want to go see.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really do a lot of sublimation stuff, but we have the opportunity to do it and we sell it. But I think that's part of the business that we don't grow in.
Yeah.
But I think that's another perspective that I want to go look at and take a closer dive into. But I get a lot of customers that say, hey, can you do flags and stuff like that? And it's like, I got a customer that does it, and they'll do it for you. So, I mean, it's a good networking, I guess you would say, as well. Yeah. When you go to the shows.
And they do a pretty good job. They, as in like Printing United, does a pretty good job at giving you space to network with both vendors and other shops that are at the show. And if you're not taking those chances, dude, I think that's a big miss. Even some of our vendors do like happy hour type stuff with their whole goal is like, hey, let's get this type of customer all in the room together because I think it'll be beneficial for all of them. Let's get this type of customer in the room together because I think it'll be beneficial for them to talk to each other. And even we've made like customer friendships that maybe we don't even do business with them, but it's like, hey, you guys would be a good resource for us at some point. Like we may need help from you guys. And that's as somebody who isn't making signs, but we've still made those relationships where it's like, yeah, sometimes it'd be helpful to have a guy that can do giant banners. It'd be helpful to have a guy that can do banner stands. It'd be helpful to have a guy that can put out 1,000 stickers in 24 hours.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's business. That's money in your pocket that you can make.
And if we are finding value in that, sign shops for sure would find a lot of value in that.
I think the biggest thing that also at the shows is that I noticed that there's a lot of courses that you can take. And I just saw one that I think everybody should probably look at is how to grow your business.
Yeah.
And it's just not, this is what you got to do, but they give a strategic plan on marketing. You got to have the right people, the right technology, the right equipment to grow your business to make it successful. And I think that is a lot of classes that I've seen are a lot of customers should be going to because they're going to get something out of it no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're coming to the show, you want to grow your business. Yeah. It's plain and simple.
100%.
Then why not take some of these classes or these courses, look at the agenda and say, they give you a full description of what it is, what you're going to learn. Start reading them and see which one fits you, where you're at.
And there's a lot of options too. I got to sit in, I can't remember what show that was. I sat in an IT supplies class that they did. I was like, man, it's so good because they're going through stuff that like even on our side where we think like, oh, this is pretty obvious, right? Everyone kind of knows what this is. But then you sit in there and you go like, actually, I think we deal with this all the time. So in our mind, it's like, oh, we obviously know what's the difference between EcoSolvent UV. Yeah, everyone knows that, right? Everyone knows that. But then you're like, actually they don't, right?
They
like when
probably
someone's coming
don't.
in
Yeah.
and they're looking for a printer and they're looking at both, like we've dealt with customers before, right? Where they come to the wrap class and they're like, yeah, I'm looking to get into wrap. You're like, oh, what printer do you have? And it's like, oh, I have a Roland MG. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, we're going to have a whole separate conversation about this.
Mm-hmm.
But they have no clue, right? They went, it fit the needs that they needed at the time. They never asked the question about wrap to the rep. The rep never answered it because why would he, unless someone was specifying that they were going to do it for wraps to say, hey, UV ink and wraps don't go well together.
Right.
And if you're new or you have a printer, you're looking at getting a second one and you don't know, you're just like, your default is like, well, let me just buy the new version of the same printer I have now.
Right.
Or let me just buy whatever the newest thing is, right? And be like, oh, this is the newest one, so it must be the best, when it may not be the best for your application by any means. So that's kind of what I think some of those trainings would be helpful for us. If you're looking for something new, let's look at the trainings that are in, dye sub or in t-shirts or in printers, just in general. And it'll give you a pretty good idea. Hey, here's what these are good for. Here's what this printer is good for. And sometimes the most expensive printer, even if you could afford it, isn't even the best printer for your shop, right? Like I think about that all the time with Epson's lineup, which they have the 9170, 8170, 7170, right? 9170 is their max color, right? Everything you can get to it. If your goal is speed, right, and you're thinking, okay, I need speed, I want to go and buy the most expensive printer that's out there, 9170 is not that printer. That would be the 8170.
8170, yeah.
And that's a more affordable printer, right? So if you're going into the show thinking, I want to get the fastest printer I can, I need to get that up, and you go into Epson's booth and you're like, well, give me your most expensive EcoSolvent printer. It won't be the fastest one.
Nope.
And if you're not asking the right questions, the sales reps may not get you there either, because it will be faster than your current printer. So when you're like, oh, this is faster than what I currently have, so this will work. But if you don't say, oh, I'm looking for your fastest one, they won't go, okay, well, let's take one step back, right? Let's look at the 8170 dual SIM YK and that thing will rip, right?
Yeah.
And you'll never know that unless you sit down and have a conversation and actually get through all of your needs, which oftentimes we don't get through. And I think a lot of people are thinking, we talked about this on an episode not long ago, about a lot of people are used to, it was with Eric Mello, and we were talking about how they're not used to having a sales rep that's actually there to help you. They're used to having a sales rep that's there to sell you. So when you're going through the process of buying a printer, you're not asking the questions that you want to ask because you're thinking, I don't want to be sold, right? I don't want to get something more than what I need. And that's what people are used to dealing with. They're used to going into a car dealership and the guy being like, what's your monthly budget, right? And then seeing how close they can get you to that top dollar or even higher than that, versus reaching out to someone who actually wants to help and be like, okay, what are you trying to do? We're trying to increase production. And it's like, okay, well, you don't need the 9170. Let's look at the 8170, right? And no one's used to having those types of conversations with sales reps from what I see.
When you talk to a sales rep, it's always, well, what are you trying to sell me? Yeah. Right? So back in my day, it was always, I'm going to go ask the technician.
100%. That's exactly what I was going to say.
So I'd always get asked, so Domingo, what do you think about this printer? Well,
at ISA, when we went to shot the video for their newest printer, the sales rep was there, right? And so I asked him, he's like, I could probably do the video for you, but who you really need is the product manager, right? So the guy that's in charge of this printer, and be like, this is the guy I need, right? So that's a pro tip for you. If you're going to these shows and the guy comes up to you, the first guy that's going to talk to you, guarantee you it's a sales rep, right? If you just ask them some questions they won't have the answer to, right? Just ask the most odd, what kind of DPI are we dealing with? Like, how high can I go? How low can I go? Right? What's the
gamut?
No,
what's the gamut range?
What do they call the dot size? What's the word for that?
Picoliter.
Yeah. What's the picoliter on this thing? As soon as you do that, you lost him, right? He's gone. He's going to find a new guy for you. Once that guy comes back, then you can just ask the basic questions. He'll be there to answer, right? So that's your pro tip. get in the booth. You're looking at the printer. The sales rep comes up, ask him about the pico leader.
Yep.
When he sends another guy over, then
that's the guy. That's the guy you want to ask questions.
That's your pro tip for here from the Slightly Serious Time podcast. So, the other thing I wanted to bring up, we're at 28 minutes. I told Rick we do this fast because this is Thursday. You're going to see this on Monday. The thing I wanted to go through real quick is some of the Pinnacle Awards that they handed out. Before I do that, we've mentioned equipment a lot of times. If you're looking for equipment, Roland, HP, Epson, Muto, GFP, Crafttech, Suma, Rollover, Colex, Multicam, Kongsberg, all will be at the show. If you're looking for anything in there, especially if you're looking at any of the higher end equipment, highly recommend you come to the shows and see it. Best pricing is always around the big shows. So if you're in the market for it, reach out
to our sales rep.
Yeah, talk to a Wensco sales rep. They'll get you in touch with Mark, who'll be at the show, and he can kind of show you around and show you what's available at the show and get you all that good pricing. We have people at the show that will happily get you in touch with the rep and show you everything you need to show without it being weird or uncomfortable or whatever. So just be aware of that. As for the Pinnacle Awards, some of our vendors won awards, so I wanted to go ahead and mention them. Roland won 3. The first one doesn't really pertain to us because they won a Pinnacle Award for the Dimensional Media, which is their DG printer.
Yeah.
It's not one that we deal with frequently, but if you're doing wallpaper type stuff, that would be worth looking at. Roland has a printer specifically for that. They won a Pinnacle Award for the UV ink category for their new ink, which is the H series.
H series, yeah.
And they won a Pinnacle Award for the updates in software for the Roland DG Connect. If you haven't seen any of the new tools that are in there, this is my opinion. Joe, if you're listening, I just apologize for saying this now out loud, but I don't think they've done a great job at showing people what they've done to the software. When we had him on, he's like, yeah, you can just do that in Roland DG Connect. And I was like, you can't just gloss over that, Joe. What do you mean you can put cut lines in the software?
Yeah.
Like, that's never happened before. We did a video on that. We can link it in the description or whatever, on how to add cut lines using the software. Super easy. It was exactly how you'd want it to work, right? Which is like upload the artwork, cut line on the outside. Okay, no, I want a buffer. Add the buffer. Really simple. No adjustments there. They've done a lot of changes, so I think that's a great award for them. If you're doing vehicle graphics, fleet works, or general long-term signage, Metamark makes materials for how installs happen in the real world. MD5 is a super versatile film. MD5B is for spot graphics, partial wraps, or general long-term signage. It comes with Meta Escape, which is an Aerogress technology made for bubble-free installs. MD5UB is their ultra-high-tech version of that film. This is made for textured surfaces, block walls, or low-energy plastics. You can check all of those out at Wensco.com. Metamark, made for professionals. In 2026, G2G and Wensco will launch 2 new products into the market. The one is the United Stick, which is a high efficiency, affordable, and reliable product for your sign and lighting projects. The second is LumaLink, which has a power pin design that's made to be cut and done anywhere in the field or in your shop. This is for small channel letters or any large projects. Check them out at Wensco.com. This episode is brought to you by Arlon Graphics, trusted for innovative high-performance cast vinyls. Check out their newest product, DPF V9500, a non-PVC polyurethane wall film built to tackle ultra-textured surfaces like a pro. More exciting new products to come soon from Arlon. Check them all out at Wensco.com. The other thing we already brought up, Epson won a Pinnacle Award for the S8170 for solvent or latex printers under 80 inches. They also won 2 awards for the die sub printers that you mentioned earlier, for die sub under 80, die sub over 80. They won both categories. And then solvent or latex over 80 inches was won by HP's new FS70W printer. So if you're looking for printers over 80 or under 80, those are the 2 that won, and we happen to sell both of them, so that's perfect. The FS70W looks awesome. I think it'll perform really well.
And the HP R530 didn't win anything? Or that was last year?
It didn't show up, but I also didn't get through all because they were listed. We had to go and find them. They were listed under the vendors who had won, but usually it would be like vendor, here's what they won. It just said HP. I had to go through all the individual awards to find it. So I never saw anything for the flatbed or hybrid flatbed.
Okay.
If they didn't win, I mean, that's a tragedy. That
thing's awesome.
So easy to use. Maybe if you're looking at it spec for spec, I've assumed there's probably some out there that will beat it in those categories. But in terms of general use, like if you had to sit down and use any of those, like HP does not get enough credit for how easy that software is to use on those printers. Like every time I need to do something and I haven't done it before, you just go, well, I think it would work this way, right? And you try it and it's like, oh yeah, it did exactly what I want it to, right? And
Onyx will be there. Flexi will be there.
Yeah, software
wise.
Yep. So I'm sure they'll be showing a line. I know they've been working on a lot of updates to that too. So we've talked about that plenty of times. Not nearly enough people have signed up, so I'm sure you still need to go and talk to them about it because I think it's super useful. Flexi just had an update too, didn't they?
Yeah, Flexi had an update as well as the MUTCD. New one came out.
Perfect. So, which is the traffic.
Traffic. Yep.
Correct. So if you're doing any of that signage, they would be the people to talk to for that too. So,
or you can buy from us.
Yeah. Or you can talk to us and we'll get you in touch with them.
Yeah.
So did you have anything that we didn't cover?
No, you got everything that I wanted to cover because of print. Can't wait to get there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. If you haven't, if you want to see us, come see us at the booth, C3461. What was the code? Register today using code 192-171 at checkout. He's got like 2 days to edit this. You're just making it worse for him now at this point. We would love to get as many people registered as possible. It's just going to be, we're going to get to the end. Domingo's going to be holding his hand up. There's nothing there. It's just a blank screen.
No, it's called,
if you
show me the money.
I can't see.
Show me the money.
Oh, we didn't put it up on the board. We should have put it on the board.
I got a sad puppy.
Yeah, we got nothing.
For Mark's, the cupboard that he wouldn't share with us for the
I don't remember that.
I don't remember this.
I'm good with it.
The catalog that he shared that he wouldn't share with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about now.
You can do that.
So, anyways, we'd love to see you at the show. Please register using our code because Print was nice enough to set us up with a pretty good situation for the show. So we'd love to get as many people there as possible. If your vendor is still listening at this point, you want to be on the podcast, you're probably going to see an email from me before you hear this, but we'd love to have you on. If you're a customer still listening at this point, I mean, shoot, you're probably an ideal candidate to come on the podcast because you made it this far.
We already had a lot of customers already.
There's a lot of customers I'd like to get on to talk about you, talk about your business, talk about what's working for you, what didn't work for you, all of those things. So if you think maybe I don't have anything super important to talk about, I'm sure we'll make an episode out because if you're surviving this long, right? If you made it through COVID, still in business, still buying every day, then yeah, I think we'd love to talk to you. So that was all I had. Pretty short, easy, just to the point. When's the last time we did a 35-minute podcast? I don't know, but I'm happy we got it done. You'll probably hear maybe the three of us again for the next one. And then after that, you'll probably hear guests for 4 or 5 months and you won't hear from us again. If you do hear from us in the middle there, just assume something crazy happened that the three of us had to come back on to talk to you. So that's all. Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate you all. Make sure you like, comment, review, subscribe.
Absolutely. Thank you for everybody that listens, even overseas. We appreciate it.
53 countries or whatever. What did I say? It's a lot. Too many. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
See you next time. Bye.